film Inception, written, produced, and directed by Christopher Nolan, was heavily influenced by the ideas that appeared in films such as The Matrix, and one of Nolan's earlier films, Memento. These movies were all focused on the basis that the world may not be real. Inception has often been viewed as a postmodern film with existentialist principles. The film is centered around Dominic Cobb, a contractor who performs jobs of extracting information from high-value targets through the subject's dreams. Dom is a wanted man in the United States for supposedly having killed his wife. He is forced to leave his children to travel around the world performing extraction jobs and running away from the government. However, his guilt for the death of his wife, Mal, often interferes with his work and leaves him with many enemies. Then, Dom gets a job offer with the reward as the ability to return to the United States and reunite with his children. Dom was able to plant an idea in the mind of Robert Fisher, the son of the CEO of a prospering corporation. In order to carry out this task, he assembles a team consisting of Ariadne, the architect responsible for creating the dream environments, Yusuf, a chemist who crafts a sedative powerful enough to keep the dream stable, Eames, a forger who is able to disguise himself as another person, and Arthur, the researcher. Eventually, Dom successfully plants the idea with his team of talented individuals and returns home to his children and overcomes his guilt for his wife's death. The movie follows Dom's psychological struggles with past experiences and his eventual discovery of his purpose. In Inception, I analyze the psychology of the human mind by examining memory-induced guilt and overcoming temptations and regrets caused by the memories, by opening up to the fears of finding one's purpose in life. In Inception, I portray how past memories, when negative, lead to guilt and regret, which distract the person from their ultimate goal. The train epitomizes Dom's guilt. He is unable to repress his regret for killing Mal, causing him to bring this train from his memory into the dream. The train acts as a complication to the mission, essentially distracting Cobb. This demonstrates how guilt creates complications and draws attention away from the actual goal. Inception exhibits how positive memories cause temptation, and that striving to relive these memory-derived emotions may lead to irrational decisions and prevent genuine contentment.
Our children are here, and you'd like to see their faces again, wouldn't you?
Yes, but I want to see them up above.
Listen to yourself. These are our children. Watch. James? Philippa?
Seeing his children right in front of him, Dom is tempted to stay in limbo with his fake children and wife. Since they are only projections of Dom's subconscious and do not have their own true personality, if he had stayed, he would never have been truly content. He would have forever left his true children and lived a life of lies. This demonstrates that one must stay away from temptation and not settle for partial contentment. In Inception, it is essentially shown that when faced with guilt, regret, and temptation, one must open up to others and receive guidance in order to overcome these emotions and become mentally stable. Ariadne's character alludes to the Ariadne from Greek mythology who guides Theseus through the labyrinth. She breaks the glass which reveals a single path for Dom, metaphorizing her guiding Dom through his life. When one is faced with problems and is unable to overcome them, opening up to others and finding aid will eventually bring them to a solution, similar to how Ariadne helped Dom overcome his guilt. Finally, after being freed from this mental instability, one must find what brings happiness in order to maintain this stability.
Look who's here.
The music resolving into a soft, sweet tone and the lighting putting a glow on his children and the scene as a whole shows how resolution brings happiness. The problem that had been introduced in the beginning, where Dom leaves without seeing his children's faces, is finally resolved, bringing happiness to the viewer and Dom. The mental stability is shown by the first appearance of a close-up shot on his children. He finds happiness in being with his children, so he is able to maintain his recently acquired mental stability.